Reports from Cairo show that Hamas has now allegedly agreed to Palestinian Authority President Abbas's terms for Palestinian reconciliation on the grounds that Abbas completely lift sanctions against Gaza that he had in place to bring Hamas to negotiate. And although Palestinian sources say that reconciliation is now, quote, very close, most still remain cynical, especially as unity talks have failed so many times before. Well, returning now with the most recent analysis is Middle East expert from the Begin-Sadat Center at Ilan University, Dr. Mordechai Kedar. Dr. Kedar, as always, it's a pleasure to have you in.
My honor.
All right, so let's just start. What's your initial kind of reaction to the news coming out of Cairo that, the agreement that Hamas is supposedly?
Look, since Hamas took Gaza over in 2007, more than 11 years ago, I keep saying that this divorce is a permanent divorce. It's clear-cut. Nothing can bring them together to any kind of an agreement because they live in two different times. Hamas has already a state in Gaza, whether we like it or not. They have borders, they have a government, they have ministries, they have army, they have a police, they have military industry, and they know how to produce projectiles and to shoot them. The PA is nothing but an employer of some thousands of Palestinians. That's all. They have absolutely nothing. And there is no way that Hamas will give up on their state only to give it over to somebody who is nothing.
So why these reports? Where are they coming from?
It's all a game in front of the Palestinian people who do want to see some unity, but the leadership cannot even agree on even the date. So to think that after 11 years of negotiations, and you know how many dozens of agreements they signed already, and nothing worked because there are two different mindsets. Look, the PLO is an organization which at some point in the past came to an agreement with Israel and signed with us the Oslo agreements. According to Hamas, this is totally impossible because Israel has no right to exist even with the size of a stamp on Tel Aviv's seashore. There's no way to recognize Israel at all. So definitely when it comes to Israel...
But again, doesn't it, you're talking about this political game. Doesn't it do more harm than good then in the eyes of the people when they see their governments playing this game? Because how obvious is it at this point?
Yes, but don't forget that neither the PA nor Hamas are elected. And they don't have to pay any dues for making mistakes.
So why do they need the game at all?
Because
if they're de facto dictators.
Look, you have to... Look, in the Arab mind, on the Arab culture, there is something which calls aib. Aib means shame. Shame on you. The shame is the last thing which any person would allow to have. So this is why they do anything in order to push the shame to the other side, just like a tennis game, to push the ball to the other side. And we are good. We wanted to come to reconciliation and to come to peace with the other side. Well, they are the bad guys. So this is in order to get rid of this allegation or the suspicion that you are the one who brought the division. They try to blame the other side. And this is why they are motivated to continue the negotiations in order to be able to blame each other.
So based on that, I understand kind of the motivations. If I take that, then I can understand the motivations for the Palestinian Authority. But for Gaza, as you said, Hamas, they already have a state in a sense. So wouldn't it be even less shameful? Wouldn't it be more prideful to just say, you know what, we're done, we're going to have our own little thing and that's it? Or no, because as long as Israel exists, the mission's not over?
They have very clear aspirations to take the West Bank over. Means Judea and Samaria. This is why they want the reconciliation to be allowed to work openly, legally, in the public sphere in Judea and Samaria as well. That's why they need the reconciliation in order to take Judea and Samaria over after they took Gaza 11 years ago.
All right, Dr. Kedar, as always, thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.